Hello everybody, my name is Rory and welcome back to Firebed Outdoors. You may remember on my channel, or if you're new to the channel, I made a video approximately 4 months ago where I started homebrewing a batch of mead, or a couple of batches. I went through the process of how to get that started and with the stages involved in that. So as I say, it's been almost 4 months since I posted that video, and now I'm finally at the stage where I can bottle it. There are other stages to the process which I have done throughout the last few months. So what I will do now, before I move on to the bottling of this mead, is I'll go back a few months to show you the stages that I did in between leading up to now. So it's been 3 days since I made the first batch, and I've just made myself a second. So I just wanted to show you the difference at this stage. So the one here on the right, that is the one that I made a few days ago. This is one I've just made up now. So you can see it's got a lot lighter, and all the raisins have risen to the top. There's bubbling going along in the airlock, and all the honey that was set at the bottom is now dissolved. So I've been shaking this up once every day for the last 3 days, and I'm probably going to stop doing that now just to let it sort itself out. This new one, I'm going to be doing exactly the same for the next 3 days, shaking it up and then leaving it. Today I'm back with my mead. Basically it's been 8 weeks since I first made up the batch, or the first batch, and now it's time for me to check the basically check it where it's at. I'm going to check what the alcohol percentage is at the moment, and then I'm going to move it on to the second stage of fermentation by racking it into a second demijohn. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, it's changed colour quite a bit. It's got a lot more orangey, I guess. I've taken a reading, and what it's coming up to at the moment is about 1042. That doesn't really mean much at this stage. It just means that there is alcohol in there, and that'll get basically that will increase over time. So now I'm going to rack it into another demijohn. Okay, so I've now racked that from the first vessel into the second. As you can see, all the sultanas and orange peel have been removed. This is just pure mead, so this will be just fermenting now for the next couple of months. Okay, so from the last clip I showed you, I had racked and moved my mead from its initial stage of fermentation into its secondary fermentation. What I'll show you now is what it looks like currently. Here's the first. And here is the second. Okay, so as you can see, it's cleared up very nicely. You can see the colour difference from the initial fermentation stage. What you will also notice is there are some bits of floating sediment still in there. That is just yeast and other bits that are just floating around. And you can also see a big baseline of sediment at the bottom. This is after the secondary fermentation stage. So I'm going to move on to bottling it now. The initial thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rack it into a fresh demijohn, leaving behind this sediment, so that it is clear and pure, fresh, to go into my bottles. Okay, so before I move the mead into the bottles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the specific gravity to work out the percentage. So I'll do that now. I'm going to take some of the mead using this pipette, and I'm going to check out the specific gravity of what it is. All the kit that I'm using again has also been fully sanitised before doing this. Okay, so using the hydrometer, I've measured the final gravity of the mead before I bottle it. Two bottles are showing slightly different readings, but they're both in the region of 8 to 9%. Although that is low for a mead. This is a homebrew done experimentally, let's say. So it's not as big a yield as you'd get with commercial meads. However, this is still a good percentage. But what I've done now is just pour myself a glass, and I'm going to have a little taste. As you can see, it's quite nice and clear. Obviously, when I put it into bottles, it will age, so it will get clearer over time. So let me just give this a taste, and we'll see. Smell-wise, it's got a really nice, rich honey smell. Yeah, really rich honey flavour as well. I used wildflower honey for this. You can really taste these sort of floral notes in the honey. Yeah, this is very nice. You can still tell it does definitely need some aging, but for the time being, this is a really nice beverage. Yeah, this is far better than the mead that I made once before, where I added a whole orange to it, and it was very overpowering with citrus flavour. This one is far less powerful with just using half an orange peel. So definitely recommend that rather than a whole orange. Oh. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so before I drink it all, I'm now going to move it into bottles. So first of all, what I'm going to do, because there's a lot of sediment in there, I'm going to rack this current stage into a fresh demijohn and get rid of all that sediment before I put that into bottles. I'm going to rack it into this fresh demijohn down here. As you can see, I've got this lower down than the one I want to remove the items from. I've got a auto siphon here, which should make the job much easier. So I'll stick that in. Okay, so as you can see, this is now decanting nicely. I am going to lose a little bit of this because of the sediment. However, it's a necessary loss. Okay, so now I'm quickly just going to do the same with the other mead into a fresh demijohn, and then we'll move on to the bottling. Okay, so here are the bottles that I will be putting the mead into. These are 500ml bottles that I just got off online, off Amazon, and they're just little nice bottles with cork stoppers that go in like this. Nothing special, but they look nice. Okay, so for the purposes of bottling this mead, and with the hope of not making too much mess, which I am prone to doing, I've stuck my bottles on the door of the dishwasher. Hopefully this should reduce the mess that I make. Now I'm aiming to fill the bottles up to about there. A bottling one would help here, however I do not have one. I'm aiming to fill these bottles just to roughly below the neck of the bottle. It's got a small neck, but now I am creating a bit of mess here, so using the dishwasher door to do this in was a clever idea. Okay, so here are the bottles all filled up. These are, as I said before, 500 milliliter bottles. So from that, you've got 4 litres of mead from that one demijohn. That's a 5 litre demijohn, which means some was lost during the process, some was lost during the initial racking from first to secondary, and some was lost in the bottling stage. However, not too much, and I still got a good amount there. So the bottling process is now complete. I have fully bottled everything. As you can see, got these ones at the front, which are 250ml bottles, and at the back here we've got the 500ml bottles. All in all, 8 litres bottled. So yeah, all in all was good. I did lose some along the process, along the way. However, all in all, we've had a very good result. These are now going to be stuck into a dark cupboard, larder, wherever, somewhere warm, room temperature, and that's where they're going to sit and age. They'll clear up, and that's when the flavour will strengthen. But yeah, for the time being, I've got a glass here. It's a bit there's a bit of sediment in this one, but I don't mind that. But yeah, very nice. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Farewell.